There are certain champions in the UFC who are paid very well and have been looked after by the promotion, but there are other champions who don't get the same treatment, where they earn a lot less than the other champions in other weight classes. So here is 5 underpaid champions in the UFC. Number 5. Amanda Nunes is the current UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion who has defended her title twice, dominantly winning her fights. In her first title defense against Ronda Rousey at UFC 207, she dismantled Ronda Rousey in just 48 seconds of the first round, winning the fight by TKO. For her win over Ronda Rousey, it has been reported that she only earned $200,000, whereas Ronda Rousey earned a big $3 million in losing a title fight. In her second title defense, she defeated top contender Valentina Shevchenko by a unanimous decision at UFC 215. She earned $250,000, which included the Reebok outfitting pay. Even though many fans don't like her, I believe she should get paid a lot more, as she has defeated 2 former champions in Miesha Tate at UFC 200 and Ronda Rousey at UFC 207 impressively. Number 4. Cris Cyborg is the current UFC Women's Featherweight Champion who has just wrecked all of her opponents in a very violent manner. After defeating both Leslie Smith and Lena Landsberg dominantly, she was given the opportunity to fight for the vacant UFC Women's Featherweight title against Tonya Avenger at UFC 214. She smashed Tonya Avenger up, eventually finishing her by TKO in the 3rd round to become the champion. It has been reported that she earned only $200,000 for her impressive victory. I believe Cris Cyborg should be paid a lot more, as she always puts on a violent spectacle whenever she fights and always goes for the finish no matter what. She was the dominant Strikeforce and Invicta FC champion, where she definitely needs to be paid a lot more. Number 3. Michael Bisping is the current UFC middleweight champion who has defended his title once so far, where he is constantly improving his overall game. He first won the UFC middleweight title when he knocked out Luke Rockhold in the 1st round at UFC 199. His first title defense was set to be against Dan Henderson at UFC 204. After a crazy back and forth contest, the close unanimous decision was given to Michael Bisping, who successfully retained his title. It has been reported that he earned $340,000, which included the fight of the night bonus and the Reebok outfitting pay. So without the fight night bonus and the Reebok pay, he would have earned $250,000 as the champion. Even though the fans may hate him, he has faced nothing but the best fighters leading up to him winning the title, which includes fighters who are on enhanced substances. He has been in the UFC for a very long time and deserves to be paid a lot more in his fights. Number 2. Joanna Jędrzejczyk is the current UFC Women's Strawweight Champion who has defended her title 5 consecutive times, making her one of the most dominant champions in the UFC today. In her fights, she brings raw aggression and brutality inside the octagon, where she uses her world-class Muay Thai skills to overpower her opponents in an impressive fashion. In her 5th title defense, she was set to defend her title against top contender Jessica Andrade at UFC 211, where she dominated all 5 rounds to win the fight by unanimous decision. It has been reported that she only earned $270,000 for her dominant performance. I believe her exciting fights and her dominance inside the octagon has proved that she deserves to be paid a lot more than she is now. She has just about cleared the strawweight division and definitely deserves to be paid a lot more. Number 1. Demetrious Johnson is the current UFC flyweight champion who has defended his title 11 consecutive times, making him one of the greatest champions in UFC history. In his fights, he has crushed all of his opponents using his well-rounded superior fighting style, where he has shut down high-level wrestlers, strikers, and jiu-jitsu practitioners impressively, where there is no doubt who the most dominant champion is in the UFC today. In his 11th title defense, he was set to defend his title against top-ranked flyweight Ray Borg at UFC 216. He completely overpowered Ray Borg and won the fight by an armbar in the 5th round. It has been reported that he earned $370,000 in his 11th title defense. I believe Demetrious Johnson is getting treated unfairly, as interim champions such as Tony Ferguson earned a big $500,000 for his title win on the same card. Demetrious Johnson is not making the same amount of money as the other champions in the UFC, where the dominance in his fights has shown that he deserves a better purse. He has proved time and time again why he is the greatest fighter to compete in the UFC, and definitely needs to be treated as a champion, and definitely needs to be paid as a champion.